Alright, everybody, welcome back. We are here with the final game of the finals in the Alienware Awesome Cup 2 European Qualifier number 4. Game 2. No, Game 3 actually. We're Game 3, I can count. 1, 2, 3. Oz?
Well, before we get into Game 3, we're just going to do a few quick messages from our sponsors and see what everybody's going to be competing for. A huge shout out to Alienware for donating those, not donating, supplying those Alienware Alphas, those 6 Alienware Alphas for first and second place. Another huge shout out. We are powered by Gosu Gamers. Ronimo, obviously Ronimo from Making Knots and Swords and Soldiers 2, which you should probably check out if you haven't already because it's pretty awesome. And a huge shout out to ES Champ Studios. That being said, let's take a look at what these guys are going to be competing for. First place, $1,800 cash, 3 Alienware Alphas, some Steam stuff, and a golden game badge. Second place, $900 cash, 3 Alienware Alphas, Steam items, and a silver in game badge. Third place, $900 Steam items and a bronze in game badge. And fourth place, $450 and some more Steam stuff. That being said, let's take a look at Game 3. The picks for Game 3 on Ribbit, where we're going to be seeing the 3-headed monkeys taking on the ninjas with attitude. We're going to be... What are we going to be seeing, Nada? Let us know.
Well, we have a Scoop, a Raylan, and a Clunk rocked by the 3HM. And for the ninjas with attitude, obviously, we're going to see that Nibs, that lovely Genji, and of course a Froggy. So, let's just get into it. I want to see the final game of the finals. You ready, boy?
I'm ready. Give us the countdown. Let's get going.
Do it. Right. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And once again, we are waiting for the early picks and see what's going to happen here. That is always... That's usually where you get a feel for what they're going to play. And when it's I think it's the same as we saw last game, basically.
It is going to be the same. The only difference that we're going to be seeing is the Scoop swap, and the Frog swap coming out on Jess. So King Richard is going to be playing the Scoop, that nice Robo Scoop skin that you guys have the chance to pick up. Jess is going to be playing that Frog, and we're going to see an interesting kind of comp come out here because Genji plus Frog plus a Nibs. That is a very potent comp, and they can deal a lot of damage in a very short period of time. Then again, we look at the 3-headed monkeys, rocking the Scoop, Raylan, Mr. Pow playing the Raylan for the 3rd game in a row, and the Exploder is actually going to be a little bit delayed on the hit on Kelvin there. Kelvin's going to be taking a lot of damage. Rourke is going to be taking a lot of damage there. Maybe going down to Genji DOT. Unfortunately, not, as Kelvin will not be able to pick up the kill on Rourke there. Rourke is going to be teleporting back, getting some additional upgrades right now, but we're seeing this difference in playstyle already, as both teams are kind of playing a little bit more aggressive than they played in the last game.
I mean, now the stakes are high for everybody, so, you know, it's really, really important to be at your age. You have to be focused up. This is what is going to determine if you win or lose this qualifier, quote-unquote. You can't really lose because of the lovely point system that we have in place.
Exactly. That point system allows people to play each week and accumulate points to be eligible to compete in the finals. The teams with the most points in the end of the tournament will be eligible to compete in the grand finals, where they can compete for that first place prize of $1,800 cash and 3 Alienware Alphas.
Oh yes, that is going to be the good stuff you can win in that lovely, lovely final. So make sure that your team is there and you have more than enough points to be in the top 16. Alright, so
just looking off the bat here, I just want to comment on
back
Jess.
to reality.
Do you think that Jess will be able to pick up Arbe, or should he?
He can. It's a decent upgrade. You can get the Solar Boss farm very easily. You can deflect ray bullets and the Scoop
hammers and Clunk AA if Rourke decides to go for the Salvo pack, which I have a feeling at some point in this game he will get.
He will. I don't think that Arbe is at a... Arbe is a good upgrade, but I don't know if it's worth to pay the price of 300 solar for it right now.
And Chris Moon going to take a huge explode there from Rourke as Rourke coming up. Rourke has been hitting a lot of these explodes up the jump head, but unfortunately no kills have come out of it so far. But he's gotten those explodes. He's been able to displace the entirety of ninjas with attitude, and I think that's what he's aiming to do at this point. Just be able to take control of mid with his overwhelming presence and be able to use his explode. But in this game, he's versing Genji, and Genji is a huge counter to Clunk. If you time the cocoon right, not only will you be able to stop his explode, but you'll be able to deal his self-damage from the explode.
Yep, that is true. So, unless he is building the safe Clunk that has no damage on explode and just builds A in health, you're going to be able to deal damage without taking damage very efficiently, even though you don't have any upgrades on the cocoon.
And we're seeing Snarebite come out actually very quickly on that Clunk, and the three-headed monkeys really do need to focus Chris Moon on this map. I spoke about it last game after Ninjas with Attitude took game 2, but they really need to take a good portion of that DPS away. Focusing those two nimble characters, that being the Frog, that being the Nibs, is going to be a great way to combat Ninjas with Attitude.
Yep. I mean, the thing about Nibs is that you can't really snare her up and expect her to stay. That is just not how Nibs works. You have to get the silence if you want Nibs to stay anywhere. So I don't know about the snare build. I think that might be to counteract the Frog.
Oh, and Mr. Powell going to get caught in Chris Moon's fire there, and Rourke is taking a lot of damage as well. He's going to be forced to get back as well. But Chris Moon being in a good position at a good time, being able to pick up the easy kill on Mr. Powell as he or she, is just going to get roasted there well in snipe.
Oh yes, we're looking at, well, not this time. We're not looking at the early rift. We're looking at boots for Ray. And the Genji build is the same as far as I can tell.
The AA upgrades were picked up a little bit later in the game. That's the only difference on Kelvin right now, if I remember correctly. So now we're actually going to see this nice little mid-battle going on, just nullifying snipe damage by dashing at just the correct time. And one huge asset that Froggy has, besides his mobility, is his invincibility frames. Jess going to be taking a lot of damage right now. And it seems like a kill is going to come out. Rourke is going to pick up Kelvin, and that's going to be a nice kill coming out and making the score 1-1 at the current moment in time. Actually going to be seeing this kind of top push come out in favor of the three-headed monkeys, and I do believe that Rourke is going to be looking for a bite at some point during this. He should be actually teleporting out right now, which he does do. King Richard and Mr. Powell into that midsection, Jess kind of getting into the fray right now, as Kelvin is going to put himself in a seemingly decent situation and attack as well as Jess. Chris Moon and Jess now proceeding into this bottom lane, as Rourke is going to get a huge chunk of damage taken out from that fire.
Alright, now here. Sorry about that. We'll go for one moment, but I was still following up. And yes, we saw that nice kills. Boots coming out a lot, and that's another kill actually.
A nice hammer from King Richard. That was a huge kill coming out on the three-headed monkey's part, being able to get that snare bite off, allow the explode to hit, and Jess was not able to nullify it using the invincibility frames. King Richard getting into that bottom lane, landing the hammer right in there, and Rourke just going in and munching up, getting that bite kill, getting some health, as well as picking up some solar for the kill.
Oh yes. So something I don't see often is Clunk getting boots after snare bite. It usually is the other way around.
Well, I've played a decent amount of Clunk, and one thing on Clunk, and I know you've played Clunk as well, is his mobility is so bad without boots.
Yeah,
but
yeah, it is.
When you have a team comp like this, where everything can be slowed down, you don't need boots just yet.
Well, you're on this map. If it hadn't been Serona, I don't think it would have worked out as well.
And Jess is going to be dealing a lot of damage to all members of 3HM, as King Richard is going to be taken to about 3 bars and forced to teleport back as Rourke is picked up, and that's going to be a 2-2 kill count as we're approaching the midpoint of this game. All these turrets are basically even at this point.
Yeah, it is not a significant difference we are looking at right now, and see, I kind of want to see where Frog is going with this build, because right now it looks fairly usual, but you know, we have seen some interesting things in this tournament so far.
We have, but I think that Jess is probably going to build Hammer Pants after this, or some dash damage, because Hammer Pants would be absolutely terrifying against once somebody's cooned. Get that coon in, get that CC going, You get that mini stun coming in on the Frog with his dash, and it's extra damage coming in on it. And Mr. Pow is actually taking a huge chunk of damage right now. King Richard taking a lot of damage as well. Rourke with the safety explode allowing the escape from Mr. Pow and King Richard. And that's what separates these top-tier players from these public matches that we see, is the ability to be able to position yourself in such a manner that you can assist your team even though you're not dealing damage. And Rourke with the nice safety explode there, being able to allow himself and his entire team to escape with no kills being sacrificed.
Yep. A nice word for zoning, or a nice description of zoning anyway.
This is true. This is true, but a kill coming out. Chris Moon is going to pick up Rourke on that. King Richard is going to be out of there with about half health right now. And Chris Moon looking again for the fire, and Richard fighting back, looking to see if he can pick him up. Chris Moon is going to be teleporting back.
Oh, yeah. We are, you know, I think we are seeing the further we get into this, the closer to the escape of the early game, we're seeing more and more aggression come up.
Definitely. And it also has to do with the mobility of these characters on the Ninjas with Attitude. We see more of these kind of clunky characters, quote-unquote, being put to use on the three-headed monkeys that can deal these huge amounts of damage, and their burst potential is great, but we also have the mobility factor coming out on the Ninjas with Attitude, and we see Chris Moon here going to use his teleport to escape that. The Rift not in time, and a lot of damage being dealt out by Jess right now. I really want to see what Jess is going to build, because Jess has 420 solar right now.
Oh, you know you want it. 420 solar?
420 solar? Yeah, 420 solar. So he's going to be able to go back and pick up some huge upgrades. Maybe even dash first, getting that 300 Hydro Dash.
Well, we will see, as he is not... doesn't look like he's planning to go back anytime soon.
No, it doesn't, and he's just playing very aggressive right now. You see how quickly he's moving around the map. You see how much damage he is able to deal very quickly.
Oh, and there we go, the teleport back. We're seeing lifesteal on Genji, and Frog is going to pick up ammo pants and speed up on NATO.
And one thing that I do want to point out there, Chris Moon had an almost secured kill on King Richard, but a nicely timed binding was able to save him and allow him to escape.
Well, now we are in the mid stages of the game. Oh, the dash right into the rift is dangerous stuff.
And it looks like Chris Moon is actually going to nimbly avoid Rourke's explode, but he's still in a lot of trouble right now, as he's able to pick up that health really quickly. Will he be able to escape with the teleport? Out. He does get the teleport out!
He does.
And Rourke is actually going to get picked up in the exchange.
King Rourke.
King Rourke, yes. King Rourke, King Pow, and King Richard.
Yes. That's actually a KNG.
The three kings.
Yes. The kings. The three-headed monkey.
Now we're seeing these turrets where we've entered the late stages, the mid-game at this point. We're seeing these turrets kind of getting taken down at a decently quick pace, as that bottom turret is now at about 4.5 bars left. 5 bars. Top turret, 2.5 bars. And it looks like the Ninjas with Attitude are going to be leading the game with 4 kills to 2 kills and a little bit more turret damage. But that's not to say that the three-headed monkeys can't come back. We've seen these comebacks happen. We've seen the tide of battle switch very quickly between these two teams in the last 2 games. We see Kelvin right now being hunted down. Mr. Pow is going to be able to pick up the kill on Kelvin, and Chris Moon is going to have to get back and teleport out. Jess is going to be the only member of Ninjas with Attitude on map right now for these cleared lanes.
Oh!
And the explode just narrowly missing. Jess waiting out the explode, using the dash to escape after that. A nice display of awareness coming out on Jess and timing.
Oh yes, that is, we talked about this, the damage immunity, and, even though that didn't come into play, the mobility of the dash is absolutely important to remember it. Like, you can go in some really bad situations and not have to worry at all.
We're actually seeing shield come out for the Frog. Frog is going to be avoiding everything as he's going to be able to get out. Mr. Pow, unfortunately, not able to pick up the kill on Jess, but we're going to see three-headed monkeys kind of reset right now as the Ninjas with Attitude take control of mid. Rourke's going to pick up some health. Mr. Pow is going to pick up a Solar Boss kill, and King Richard is going to have to defend for a few seconds while Kelvin is just tanking out that top turret.
Yeah, they do have, with a Frog and a shield from Genji, you can actually do a lot of things. Like, that's something I feel like shield on Frog or RB on Frog, that's actually a lot of push, and people seem to not really, take that into the equation.
And regen bite coming out on Clunk. I think that was the right way to go with his bite. He needs to be able to maintain himself after these quick bursty battles that they're having in between each other. So regen bite's definitely a decent way to go. And can allow him to stay alive a few more seconds if he does manage to go down. Maybe it'll be a few seconds that he has to get off another explode and be off of his cooldown.
Maybe if he can stack the bites, he's going to have an absolute insane regen period where he can just go in and tank up everything and anything.
This is true. I think that the shield upgrade on Frog was the right way to go. Mr. Pow taking a dash from Jess right there. But King Richard and Rourke, they're in a very good position to get the drop on the entirety of Ninjas with Attitude if they push into that midsection first. Even though Mr. Pow may not have been with them, a nicely timed explode with a hammer could have secured a kill.
Oh yeah. Alright, so now we are actually looking at sort of a shifted match because 3HM were basically moved up on bottom lane while we were having the Ninjas with Attitude moved up on the the top lane, sorry.
And they're actually looking to secure a kill on Rourke here. Rourke is going to get killed, but we're looking at Jess being very nimble here, being able to escape with that as well. But, you know, when you're going to go down as a Clunk, you make sure you use that explode.
Yep.
Deal as much damage to everybody as possible.
That's just something you have to do because you increase the chance of you killing yourself, meaning that the solar will drop and potentially your teammate can get it, reducing the overall solar benefit of her killing you. Plus, you get to do that extra damage, and you can do up to 1,000 damage just by exploding yourself. So,
and especially if you hit all three members, 3,000 damage.
Yeah, that is a ton of damage.
3 people.
Oh, and
but we're now seeing this battle right now as Rourke is going to get a nice pickup. King Richard with the kill on Kelvin, as Jess is going to get the kill on King Richard there, and Chris Moon is going to be very weak right now. Chris Moon is going to be looking for some help. Does manage to get the help, and Mr. Pow getting a little bit overzealous trying to pick up Chris Moon. Chris Moon was acting very good as bait there, and just noticing that, being able to pick up the kill on Mr. Pow.
You're absolutely right. And that's something you have to, like, really... Because he couldn't snipe. The Frog was keeping him in place. He could not snipe. That would have been cancelled and that would have been killed. He had to get the AAs in.
And we're looking at the current solar. Look at the current solar right now. 550 solar on Nibs. 625 solar on the Frog.
Oh, yeah. He is going to get pumped up. I think he's looking for... He's going to get... I think he's going for the... No, he's going back already. I would have suggested him going for the 660 and then just pick up the max damage.
Let's see what he's going now. He's picking up some regen. Okay, he's gotten first stage of Hydro Dash, Hydro Smash, second stage of Hydro Dash, and regen. So his dash is going to be very powerful. And we're going to see it right now. Let's see what he can do with it. Oh, he's going to hit Rourke. He's going in on Rourke. Look at that. Look at how much damage he dealt in on that. King Richard's going to have to try and escape here through the wrath of Kelvin with his Storm Cloud. And what?
That was the DOT on Genji that actually did it?
No. I think that was quite laggy, but if I remember correctly, Genji used his cocoon on the turret, and he may have been behind the turret a little bit, and that kind of picked up the kill on him.
That must have been lag. We're gonna write that on. That one also is lag. We're gonna write that one also as lag. Alright, that's good. Now we have that set. I really don't think Clunk is really actually no, he's not even far behind. They are just as a general pretty far behind in solo if you look at the difference here, because I was looking at the upgrades and the frequency that they were getting upgrades, and Clunk has not really gotten too much. He's had two stages of regen bite, but that's it. He's really lacking the damage.
And King Richard is actually going to be dealt a lot of damage right now. Jess is going to have to be very nimble right now, avoiding it, but Rourke is going to come in and get the explode kill on Jess, ending the killing spree. But look at Genji, 400 solar.
Oh man, he should just go back.
Miss Fortune cookies would be really great.
Yeah, well, he does have the regen bite, so I think that's doing poke damage to Clunk, which I guess right now without pills, that's what the Miss Fortune cooking would be doing. I don't know if that is super important. He does have it now. He does have it. Actually.
Stage is actually coming out. There you go. There's that 20%. That's going to be a lot of reduction coming out. And even his regen won't be able to combat that at this point.
Well, he had it, so now he's getting pills and the blessing. Oh, that was a nice reaction time on dash. There you go.
A little bit late on the blessing, I think, though. Rourke is actually taking a lot of damage, but the Chris Moon is going to be taking a lot of damage, and Mr. Pow is going to take down Chris Moon as Kelvin takes down Rourke. It looks like Kelvin's going to be in a bad situation right now. He's going to be forcing Mr. Pow. Jess is in a bad situation as well as 3HM, and Mr. Pow is going to get the kill on Jess.
That's going to be a double.
Kelvin to escape.
Oh, that is a double. Yeah, it's a bit late, but it's 2 kills. And I think that right now they can get a turret. And they can get another turret. If they focus up, they group up, I'm pretty sure that they can get 2 turrets. That's one?
No, they have the first one. I'm not entirely sure they'll be able to take that bottom one, though. Nibs is going to be back on map in a second, and Kelvin can protect those turrets exponentially well with that explode and his clearing capabilities. As King Richard's going to be on the run, but we're going to see Rourke coming in with the safety explode, allowing him to escape. And yeah, that's just going to be a 1 turret push, but I think that you were correct in the aspect if they both focused it, they could have gotten it.
Well, Mr. Pow's sitting on a huge pile of solar. He doesn't want to go back because the momentum is there already. But as soon as the match sort of reaches status quo, I think he's going to go back and we're going to see either more AA damage or, well, damage on snipe or shield. It could go a lot of ways right now.
We'll see just land the splash dash on King Richard, and a nice safety explode coming out from O'Rourke again, but Jess is on the assault right now. Unfortunately misses the dash for him, and is not going to be able to pick up a kill on King Richard. King Richard being very smart with his movements there. He nimbly avoided Jess and was able to get that bindings off. Teleport back. We're seeing Salvo come out, some more the dammer, as you say.
The dammer? Yeah, right now it's a dammer. It's going to be a spadameter later on when he gets cooled off. No. The speedometer. It sounds like someone who's just learning English trying to say speedometer. Like,
no, I'm saying it's a Boston accent. The speedometer.
Speedometer. All right.
Get my cat. You gotta drive. King Richard getting a lot of damage being taken on him with the nice bite coming out from Rourke is going to secure the safety for King Richard that he needed to escape. And Raylan, we're seeing some HC bomb, some skull necklace, and some Joe doll coming out. That's a lot of AA coming out.
I don't get why he would go HC bomb and attack speed. That is one. It made sense at one point where it was 2 shots and you wanted to get them off quickly, but now it's actually quite a while since HC was 2 shots.
And Kelvin's actually going to pick up the kill on King Richard, securing that. So now we're seeing, we're basically at the late stages of this game. We've entered the 20-minute mark. We're approaching the 21-minute mark in a few seconds. And kill count is 12-7. Solar difference, we're looking at around 700 to 800 between Frog and the
Oh, and he actually lands in. He lands in.
You land in the rift?
No, he landed in the HP pack.
Oh. But as I was saying, the solar difference is about 700 to 800 between Scoop and Frog at this point. Scoop rocking around 1700. Frog just 50 shy of 2500. So an 800 solar difference. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy.
No, but still, we are. I mean, I think Scoop is lacking behind, and that's actually kind of critical because he's such a key part of their comp.
He is a key part of their comp in regards to actually securing the snares. And one thing, Frog is a huge counterpick to that Clunk. And you have Kelvin in there who's also counterpick as a Genji. So that basically nullifies any exponential damage that a Clunk can deal.
Yeah, I'd rather say that Clunk goes well against Frog rather than, the other way around.
It's completely dependent on Solar, to be honest, because if this was the other way around, and Rourke had more Solar, I think that he'd be able to deal a lot more damage. Kelvin looks like he's going to be able to just narrowly escape that. A nice push by the 3-headed monkeys, being able to secure that bottom turret there. And the turret count is now 2-3 in favor of the Ninjas with Attitude.
See, now the question is not if I think, but do you think they can pull off such a push as they did in Game 1?
I do. They have a Clunk. They have him with Salvo. Those turrets are going to get melted. A Clunk with Salvo is a terrifying thing for a turret.
That is true, and I mean when he's maxed on AA right now. He has the fragmentation shells. Combine that with that lovely salvo pack as well as the missile 2 and 3. That's just gonna...
Jess is looking to secure another kill on Rourke.
Oh!
Rourke is taking a lot of damage. Rourke is going to actually get taken down by Kelvin right now. Kelvin's going to be taking a lot of damage as well, though. But Jess is there for the escape, doing a sickening amount of damage with one splash dash on Mr. Pow. One splash dash brought him down to less than a quarter health right now. And it looks like Jess and Kelvin are going to push in to deal some damage onto the three-headed monkey's core.
Oh yeah, that is not a good situation to be in. You do not want people to poke your core, because turret damage may be permanent, but core damage is extra permanent.
Extra permanent? Really?
Yeah, you only have one core. You have more turrets now. That's sort of where I was going with it.
Permanent.
It's extra permanent.
We're actually seeing the first stage of the speedometer build come out.
Yes,
And,
the speedometer build. Speedometer build. Yes.
We're seeing Mr. Pow just focusing on clearing that bottom lane right now, as Richard and Rourke are kind of protecting that top turret, which only has 2.5 bars left right now. And if I were Ninjas with Attitude, I'd be playing very aggressive. Actually, no, I wouldn't, because look at their top turret right now. And they actually need to play more on the defensive than offensive.
What do you mean?
As far as they need to be very careful with their engagements right now. Because a double kill could potentially end the game. And we're at 1-1 in the finals right now. And a huge battle going on right now.
There we go. There you have it.
Kelvin, and that's what I'm talking about. They need to be very careful with their engagements. Getting caught in a rift like that, getting caught in the snare bite, and even more snare with the hammer. That
is dangerous stuff.
You're not going to be able to move. You're not moving. And as I said before, a double kill in any direction will end this game. There's no doubt about
Look
that.
at how the thing is going down.
And that's what I'm saying. You have that salvo clunk. Look at how quickly it can go down. Toss in an AA Raylan at this point. Look at that. That's a half. That turret was more than half HP, and now it's gone in a single push from one kill.
Gone. Still, now everyone is back, and the game has reset. But you know, I think we're gonna see something happen here, because I don't see this go on for very much longer. This is too. You see how quickly they're going for the engagement? It's just, if they keep up this pace, the game cannot last much longer.
Well, both of these teams are playing very well against each other. This is a game 3, so winner takes all at this point.
Yeah, we might even see. We are not going to see the duration rift, because of course we are seeing HC bomb. So there's not going to be that huge stall, which is where I'm sort of, you know, hopping with this, because the defensive capabilities of 3HM is pretty significantly lowered as opposed to the other games. So, you know, if that one nice cocoon lands, I think we're gonna look at that. But then again, the nice rift, and you have the same story.
At this point, Jess is on that bottom lane. Jess is going to retreat into the top lane, try and deal some damage. Jess should have been in that core, really forcing some pressure on 3HM at that point. But playing it safe, Jess is going to retreat back in, and we're going to see King Richard get a lot of damage dealt on him. King Richard going to be taking a huge chunk of damage.
One.
King Richard is going to go down. Chris Moon is going to pick up the kill on him, and it looks like they're going to be looking for Mr. Pow right now.
Two.
Mr. Pow goes down, and Rourke is the only member of 3HM left on the map. Rourke is going to be battling it out with Kelvin right now, and we're going to see Jess and Chris Moon force themselves into the bottom lane. They're going to be clearing. They're going to be doing some core damage right now. This could potentially be the game if that Clunk can't prevent the assault that the Ninjas will bring. And Clunk is taking a lot of damage. They're doing a lot of damage on the score right now. This may be the game. And
I don't think they can hold this for much longer.
I don't think he can hold it either. This is a Clunk with half health.
Oh no, that is not going to work.
No, and that is going to be the game as Ninjas with Attitude takes Game 3 of the finals of the European Qualifier number 4. What an intense series. That was absolutely crazy.
That was close, man.
We saw a 46-minute Serona game with over 60 kills. We saw our second game rivet with both teams just playing like their lives were on the line. And then our third game, where it was a back-and-forth battle between these teams, and the Ninjas with Attitude came out on top.
They came out victorious. Hooray!
But three-headed monkeys, they played extremely well.
Yes, they played well. That is absolutely true.
So look at those builds. Tell us what could have gone differently. Tell us any changes that you would have made, Nada.
Well, looking at Frog's build, I think what Raiden was afraid of was the Arbe coming out, but when Frog already has the shield, I don't think he's going to be able to build, you know, I don't think he's going to want to build the Arbe. So getting the attack speed with HC Bomb, I kind of thought that was an off pick. As for Clunk, I would have loved to see some more explode damage earlier on. He did land some nice explodes, and he actually did a very good job of avoiding those cocoons. So I feel like he could have gotten more for his money, focusing maybe one stage of regen bite and, like, you know, using that money to sort of stack up for a stage of explode maybe. As for the Frog, I have really no comment. That was a fairly decent, you know, it's a good Frog build. Nibs, no comment either. Same goes for Genji really.
Well, you know, you say you would like to see some explode damage come out. One thing that I do have to say is I don't think he should have went explode, and he didn't go explode. He went with that regen, he went with the sustained Clunk. He knows he's not going to be able to deal that damage with that Genji in there. He's going to go for the explode, he's going to get shut down by that Frog, or he's going to get shut down by that Genji. And he did have a few great explodes, but I think that he went with a smarter build in this situation, picked up those fragmented shells, dealing that AoE damage, and just really focusing on punishing turrets. And I do have to give it up. You know, Three-Headed Monkeys played very well, and the Ninjas with Attitude, fortunately for them, they came out on top in these games. That being said, I think we're done.
I do believe so.
I do believe so. So we came up with a few different things. We have the speedometer build on
nice.
Scoop now. I really hope that kind of catches on.
I want to see that catch on.
That being said, we'll be back next week for the US Qualifier, number 4. Same time, nice. Same place. Be sure to stay tuned. My name is Oz. Nada.
I'm Nada. Hooray.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.